Boop. Okay. There's a new thing that I need to look at some point, if I remember. I'm just now getting notifications of this when I start stream. Cool. Hello everybody, how's it going? It's good to see you guys. Getting things kicked off here in a second. Just one moment. There we go. Okay. Doot. And doot. Okay. Okay. Alright. And attack submission. There we go. Okay. I'm ready. I think we're all ready. So, give me just 2 seconds here. And I'll give you guys a rundown on what we're doing today, because it's been something I've been putting off, in all honesty. So it's about time. Alright, we need to open up our FOV just a little bit. So, for those of you who don't know, we have been on this Forever World for a little while now. I also need to clean up my inventory, so we're going to do that first while I yap. We've been on this world for a while. We're coming up on episode 9, and there's some things that I need to get out of the way that we just can't make the whole episode about. So I'm trying to get those done, and that's mostly about texturing. So we may even come up to the house and do a little bit there, but the big thing is up in these areas over here. We need to texture that wall a little bit here, this cliff. This wall right here needs a lot more texturing done. And then down here as well, we need to do some texturing on the cobblestone. We may even just rip up all the cobblestone and replace it with tough or some tough variant. I gotta run through my gradient scales and make sure that there's a block I've got that we could use there. But we'll get there when we get there. Hello, Nikita. Welcome on in. It's good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Boop. Bup, bup. And we're now out of room for salmon, so we're just gonna close that up there. We're gonna need to start... I haven't reached a point where I'm willing to throw things out, but I am starting to get to the point where I'm questioning how long that might take for us to start throwing things out, because man, do we have a lot of stuff. There's so much. And the truth is, we're probably never going to use most of this. So it is a lot. We need to use that mending book soon. I don't know what we're going to use it on. That's one of the problems I keep running into. We probably need to take inventory on all of our books and see what we could fully enchant. I'd like to do one of my armor pieces, ideally, because I do want to go to the Nether on episode 10. And that will be sometime next month, really, I think. And so I would like to be protected for that if I could. It's a little bit gutsy, I would say, wearing my very hard to get armor on my first trip to the Nether. I usually die there. If I ever die anywhere in Minecraft, it's usually the Nether. So it's a little nerve-wracking, just a little bit, but it'll be alright, I think. Nikita, thank you for submitting your taxes. I appreciate it. Bananas are so cool. Welcome on in. It's good to see you. Hope you're doing well. We're just chilling today. Are you using a quality mod? I'm using a couple of quality of life mods, yeah. Big ones are the shaders. So I'm using Iris to give me complementary reimagined shaders. I'm using some that give little particle effects on things like lanterns and torches. I don't know if we can see the torch particles from here, so let me go up to it. And you can see there's a little bit of particle effects on that as well that you don't normally get. And some things like my armor bar there, you can see that it shows what type of armor I'm wearing. And my saturation bar as well with apple skin. If you ever want a full list of the mods that I use in my gameplay, if you do !mods, it should give you a full list in my website. and it actually has a Modrance download link. I know that a lot of people don't trust those nowadays because they have been used for scams as well, but it will actually give you a Modrance pack as well if you download from there. But all of them are updated to the newest version of the game. Well, I shouldn't say all of them are. There is one mod that isn't updated yet, which is don't touch my hotbar or don't touch my toolbar or something like that. And that's because, for whatever reason, they're still on 1.21.11 instead of 26.1. So, SwiftDude, thank you for submitting your taxes. I appreciate it. I'm going to subscribe and like. Well, I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Support does mean a lot, guys. It does. We, I don't know what I would do without being able to do YouTube and without being able to do Twitch and without being able to develop video games. This is where I feel like I'm supposed to be. So, any support where you guys are just liking, subscribing, watching, just watching the videos means a lot to me. And, I can't say it enough. Just, like, thank you, genuinely. Boop, boop. We also need all of our copper out of here. Before long, I'm going to start automating some things, I think, just because we have a lot of stuff, and we're just not really doing things the most efficient way, I guess. Which is okay, you know. Efficiency isn't all that matters in video games. And I try to keep myself on a tight leash when it comes to that. Because I don't want it to all be about farming and about that exclusively. But, you know, there are some things that we do need to do. I think a copper farm would probably be in my best interest at some point in the near future. I've never actually built a copper farm. But that's something high up on my list. Eldar, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, we could probably do a copper farm. I need to build a storage room of some sort, and I'd kind of like to use copper golems for that. I'm hoping to build a really cool nether portal for episode 10. We may even build it in episode 9 and then go through it for episode 10. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. You can call me Banana. Alright, sounds good, Banana. I will try my best to remember that. Sometimes I get a little bit mixed up and then I just use the full name. So I apologize for that. If we have some time, we may also work up here a little bit. There's some stuff that we need to do. But we'll get there when we get there. If we get there. We may not need to. Who knows? What I do want to do quickly is just count. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is that? Probably like 25 up. So 25 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times 25 is 100 and what is that? Like 125 or something like that per side. So that's 250 plus whatever's up there. So let's just go 300. 300 divided by 64. I can't do that in my head, but what I can do is I can use a calculator. 300 divided by 64 is 4.5 stacks. So we need about 4.5 stacks of copper in order to finish that doorway. The other doorway after this, I may just not actually use copper. I may use the white blocks instead. So I think that would look just as cool. And you know, it adds some variety to it. This is a huge build, so variety goes a long way with that sort of thing. Hello, Andreas. Welcome on in. I was playing Minecraft today. Nice. Minecraft is fun. We love Minecraft. I didn't get to play any today. I've been out and about. I've been really, really busy today. I woke up early with the intent on getting a little bit of work done and then heading out to the doctor's. My mom and I made some plans to go today and just get some prescriptions renewed. And unfortunately, we found out today, I guess, that my doctor retired. Which is fine. It is fine. But it was a little disappointing. Because we had to go see the other doctor. And we're not... It's not that we don't like him. It's just... He's not our particularly favorite. He doesn't listen as good as she does. To put it simply. What do we want to start with? Let's start up there, because I have enough blocks for that. I don't know about if I have enough for down there. You know, like, yeah, she didn't say anything, at least not to me. So we were caught a little bit off guard by that, but you know, we're happy that she's able to go do whatever she wants to do. So it sucks for us, but I'm sure for her it's great. So I went to the doctor today. I saw the grumpy old man. He's not grumpy. He's just very blunt, I should say. And then he went through a lot of stuff with me, and we've come up with some plans. I think they don't make a ton of sense to me, if I'm honest, but they made sense to him, so that works. And I'm supposed to go do, like, physical therapy now, which I'm not, like, super pumped about, believe it or not. I really, really hate weekly commitments. And that very quickly might become a weekly commitment. So I'm not pumped about that, but that's okay. He's also pushing for more referrals to the doctors that I do need to go see. So he's at least taking that part seriously. I can appreciate that. But overall, pretty successful day, all things considered. I worked on some thumbnails. I did a little bit of editing. I didn't get to work on Omnia today, my video game, unfortunately. But we will work on it again, probably tonight. It's not that big of a deal. I can miss a couple of days. We're just going to come through here in this tunnel and give it a little bit of a glow up. The constant texture was kind of messing with it. We also need to consider doing something to the ground as well. Because I do like the stone brick, but I think it needs probably some variation. So we could probably use some cracked stone brick on the edges where there's grass. We could use mossy stone brick. In darker areas even, or more wet areas, we could probably even swap out from stone brick to like tough bricks or deep slate bricks, and those will kind of give it more of a damp texture. So somewhere in here, for example, this would probably stay pretty moist because it's not out in the main sun. So that might work out pretty good. I don't know. We'll have to play around with that a little bit. Sounds like a scary doctor. I hope things are okay though. It wasn't the worst. It definitely could be way, way worse. So we're gonna... I'm going to anyway. I don't know. I'm not going to speak on my mom's behalf on anything. I don't think you guys particularly care to know her medical history, so I'm going to skip that part. But for me, I'm going to wait and see how the new doctor does, because they're going to have a doctor come in to replace the old one. And if they're good and I'm okay with them, then we'll stick with them. I want to give them a fair opportunity, but at the same time, I am fully willing to switch to a new network, because it could lead to easier referrals and stuff. Doctors are an interesting thing. I know it works here a little differently than it does in other parts of the world, so everything I'm saying may, be kind of a little bit weird sounding to somebody who may not have the American medical system. But we have a lot of doctors and a lot of options and a lot of hospitals, and I really like the one that I go to right now because you can do walk-ins. That's one of the best parts about it. Like, I don't have to make an appointment to go see anybody. I just go. So it means that I can get in whenever I want, go get my prescription refills, and then go back on with my day whenever I feel like it. Walk-in doctors, they still exist. I know. It's kind of a shock. I'm a huge fan of it. Let me tell you guys, because I'm a kind of spontaneous person, I feel like. Not like ultra spontaneous, but just enough. You know, I like a little bit of variety in my life. And sometimes I'm indecisive on when I'm gonna go. Sometimes I just get enough energy whenever I feel like I need to go. So it's always nice being able to just have the ability to just get up and say, yeah, I'm gonna go today, and that's that. Gotta love waiting hours in a tiny waiting room with sick people. I know, it's great. That was the thing. I was actually late on going back because I got sick a couple weeks ago, I guess. I don't however long ago it was. I got sick, and then I just didn't go back. And I didn't go because I didn't want people because there's a lot of old people that go to the doctors, and I didn't want to get any of them sick. And I realized the irony in that because, like, I think Nathan actually posted a meme in the Discord earlier about not going to the doctor when you're sick because you were sick. And, like, that's so me. That is so me. I really hate going to the doctor when I'm ill because I don't want to get anybody else sick. It's so beautiful in your house. I'm subscribed to you. Hey, appreciate that. Thank you, John. Thank you. Also, Altman, hi, welcome on in. Good to see you. And Banana, yes, I am making a game. It is called Omnia. If you guys want to know more about it, I will happily tell you guys more. But it's basically a large open world space exploration simulator where imagine like D&D, but in space, and I guess there's probably a lot more to it. I'm trying to think like how to even begin to cap off that explanation. It's very in-depth though. I'm still working on the game menus right now, so if you join the Discord, you'll see in there the developer updates as I post them. But there's no pressure on that. I am wanting to actually start a YouTube channel for the game development specifically. And when that happens, I will let you guys know where you guys can follow that so that you can stay up to date if you want to. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm just happy to be able to develop games. I really do feel like that's something I'm supposed to be doing. And so I'm really excited that I have that opportunity right now. Things are finally starting to click in my life, I feel like, in ways that they weren't before. So it's making me excited to be able to start working on more and more stuff. I'm also really excited because, for those of you who don't know, I used to run a Minecraft server, and I finally wrapped up the video production for the capstone of that season. So after that releases, which it should this weekend, I can kind of put that behind me for a little bit and focus on the Forever World. I can focus on making new videos that aren't at all related to SMP stuff. I can focus on game development some more even. Oop. Ouch. I'm just really, really excited to be able to start putting some of that stuff behind me and moving on to brighter things. You guys probably have, I feel like it has anyway. I feel like there's been a dip in quality and variety. Just a little bit. Like, I'm still enjoying streams. I still enjoy making the videos. But I've been wearing so many different hats that it's hard to keep up with everything. And so inevitably things start slipping and turning out worse. And you know, you either get really good at one thing, or you do really badly at a ton of things. What's going on here? Mom sent me a message. I'll respond to that a little later. I need to light up down there. Maybe we'll go do that here in a second. I've got some torches. But my goal is to start getting good at things and then slowly expand my skill set and what I'm doing instead of just jumping right into doing everything. I was not in my right mind when I decided that I was going to do as much as I decided this year. So I need to get back to the basics, get back to what matters most to me, and build that skill back up so that I can slowly add on to it, you know? Yep. Also, this is looking so much better with the andesite already. Just taking a look right there. So much better. And the tunnel as well. Pretty good. We need to do some lighting in here. Also, I forgot to start recording. It's not a big deal because I don't think this would have been time-lapse material anyway. But I try to record everything in the world if I can. We will need to figure out our lighting situation, though, across the board. There's a lot more lights that just haven't been dealt with. So I think in here we'd probably be best off with lanterns and not torches. So we'll have to go find some of those. And then I need to go get some more torches anyway. So let's empty out my inventory. We'll go into that cave, light it up, and come back up surface side. Okay, this one can be andesite. And then I've got all of this stone stuff. I don't need this much stone. Hello, Rift. Welcome on in. It's good to see you. And what's on sale today? Okay, I see. Steam always sends me an email whenever something's on sale. I need to swap that over to being less often, because I get like an email almost every day. I try to limit the amount of, not like stress, but it can be stress inducing. But I try to limit the amount of emails and notifications and all that I can get, just for the sake of keeping stress levels down. I don't get overwhelmed easily, but on occasion, the more notifications that pile up, the more likely I am to start just ignoring things, and that's not a good thing. So I'm gonna try to get better about that and limit where notifications come from. Like, I don't get any notifications from YouTube on my phone. I tried, and I need to go back through and do this again, because I still get like 100 notifications a day, but I limited a bunch of the notifications on Twitch so that I could get less of them. but I'm back to getting a bunch because I followed people since then and, you know, all that kind of stuff. I should have brought a spider eye. That is my bad. Let's go get one really quick just so I can see where's spawnable. Did you catch up on anything? I have not. I have not yet. I might be able to do some this weekend, but I'm not entirely certain. I will be out of town for part of the week. Or part of the weekend, sorry. So I'm trying to be careful about what I promise there. I wish I could ignore things. Amen to that. I need to do... I need to go back through and just do more ignoring. Because like right now, I'll tell you guys exactly what I see. I've got notifications from Messenger because people message me things and I never respond. It's just memes, but I get a lot of notifications from that. I get notifications from Google Photos. I actually like those because they're memories and it's things that I've actually done. So I like to see those. I've got notifications from McDonald's telling me my points are about to expire, and sometimes they tell me to go eat their special meal or whatever. I don't need that. I have 8 notifications from the last 2 hours on Twitch. And then I've got notifications from my email. I think about 3 right now. And then I've got 1 from Steam telling me that things are on sale. Things that I have no money for. But they are things nonetheless. And it's just like, a lot of that, you know, I could honestly do with less of. What did I come here for? Spider eye, right. Boop. It is not displaying, is it? Aha, it is. Okay. What was I doing? There's something else I needed to do. Coulter, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. It's been a while. It's been a little bit, yeah. How are you doing? Murdo, hello, welcome on in. You're good as I check in out of curiosity, and like you said last year, a reminder to not forget. Yeah, I definitely need it. If there's a way to forget, I will. There is no doubt about that. I forget a lot. Okay, so there is no spawning spaces in here. Just to prove that, if I get rid of this... Well, maybe. Okay, yeah. So I actually don't even need the one in the middle, but I am going to put it in here nonetheless, just because I like the lighting. So that's really good. That gets us a little bit of something, something. I'd kind of like some more depth. We may build up the wall just a little bit, give it a little bit of an archway that pokes out. And I don't know, do we need that on this side too, or is it fine? This side isn't as desperately in need of it, but we may do something at least here. I don't know. Let's grab some blocks. So we need stone, cobblestone, and we need stairs. Stone, stairs, cobblestone, stairs. Okay. This might look bad over here just because of how not wide this is, but we'll give it a shot. Actually do that one there and right there. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking this one isn't it. But we'll see. Maybe I'll change my mind once I do some of that. Yeah, I think that's just a little too clunky. At least for this side. We don't need it on both, anyway. So it's not that big of a deal. I've been gone. My grandma passed away, so I had to get through that, and a lot has been happening in school, so that's not good. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry for your loss. That is hard. That is really, really hard. But I hope things get better soon for you guys. Do I have any andesite? I don't. Dang it. Okay. That's okay. Do some of that and some of that. How does that look? That's almost good. It just needs like... I almost need like a transition block in between so that it fades good. But I don't know how to do that. Because we don't really have like trap... You know what? We got walls. Let's use walls. Guess who's back? GK's back. Hey, welcome on in, dude. How's it going? It's good to see you. Let's see. We don't have stone walls. Oh. Okay. Why? Why do we not? I don't know. We may have to use stone bricks or something. I don't know. We'll see. What are you building? We are working on texturing my builds right now. Just trying to make them look a little more pretty. And I think we're doing okay. We need to do the top there as well. I think some slabs over top of it would probably do good. And that'll help. Because yeah, that right there looks so much better than what it was. Just not being flat. So let's get some slabs. We need a couple of each. It'll be good. That's my 4th loss in the past 2 years. Oof. I'm sorry, dude. I'm so sorry. That's hard. That is hard. And it seems like when it rains, it pours, doesn't it? I can relate to that. Oy. Had a loss for a year or two. Happy passed when I was in Colorado in 2024, 2023. Oof, I'm sorry. It's not terribly uncommon, unfortunately, in my family to have some losses. We've had a few over the years, recent years, but you know, life is hard like that sometimes, and that's unfortunately just the way it goes sometimes. At least for us. Okay, that right there, I like that. I like that, yeah. It's just a little something. Add a slab on top of the middle slab. I usually don't go that route, only because I think it makes it too pointed. That's just my personal preference there. But I usually go without it. It doesn't look terrible, though. I love it that way. That's fair. That is definitely fair. Let's see. I really wish we had normal stone walls. Like, that would be so handy right now. I don't know what would blend well with the cobble or the normal stone. Alright, let's, Eesh, witches. Alright. You guys ready for this? This is gonna be so bad. 3, 2, 1, run! Oh, crap. They got me. Alright. Ouch. Eat. Gosh. Ah. Alright. We're good. We're fine. We're fine. Alright. Yikes, that was almost really bad, but you know what? We lived. We lived, guys. I would have died already. It's fair. I almost did. If I didn't have the blocks in my inventory, I would have been toast. Hey, Spicy, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well, dude. Come on. There we go. Alright, right here. I can actually put this here, yeah. Alright. Right here. Okay. Boop. Alright. Any spots that I need to see? Also, invisibility spider. It's not a rare spawn, but it's kind of rare. I mean, it's a rare spider spawn anyway. Spiders can spawn with various potion effects. I think it's, what is it? Invisibility, swiftness, and maybe strength? I don't remember. There's like a few different effects that they can spawn with though, which is really cool. Have you been? I'm never doing well. Oof, I'm sorry. I've been alright. I've been working on video games. I've been making content and just trying my best to move life along in the right direction. I think we're getting there. So, you know, I can't complain too much, at least not on my side. I do think we need to do something here, and I'm not sure what. It feels flat. And unfortunately, there's just not a lot I can do. So I'm gonna probably have to leave that part alone. Unless we do something around the tops. We could do like a stair there and then do the slab over the top of that. But I don't want to mess with that. We'll just leave it be for the time being. This wall right here actually is fine as stone, I think. I don't think we need to mess with it. Yeah, we'll leave that alone. And then we're gonna have to do something in here. At some point in time, that'll be where we do our deep slate mining. So I'd like to work on that a little bit. Use shelves. I could, but the problem is I also built on slabs, and so in some of these spots I can't use shelves. And so that's the only reason I don't want to use them, is only because of the slab problem. I'm sure there's a way to get around it. I'm just not entirely certain what that would be yet. You know what? Let's toy around with that. Let's see. Let's find out. Boop. And then some stone here. Let's go get some shelves and some stairs. We might be able to do something. Also, Water Ghost, it's good to see you. Hope you're doing well, dude. Oops, that's not what I want. That one. Thank you for spending your taxes. I appreciate it. That would be weird. Visit my hardcore 1,260 days empire. I'm on Java edition, man. I can't join other people's worlds just like that. Unfortunately. And I usually don't join other people's worlds only just to protect myself. There's a lot of people who can backtrace IPs and all that. And it's just not generally safe. So obviously that doesn't look good. It looks a little goofy. But what if instead of that, we went with like one of those and then did that? Would that be better? Does that look good? I don't know. It looks a little goofy. But, I mean, it does also fix some of our other issues. Because then we could also take... we could also take some of these. And do that. I don't know. Like, from here, that looks great. That's fine. That works. But then over here, it's kind of like... If only there were a way to do this. What if we took, like... Okay, wait. I'm overthinking it.
Hello there.
Leave it to me to overthink things. Trapdoor looks like dirt. A little bit, yeah. I can see it. Boom. That works. Okay, wait. That could work. That fixes the issue at the very least. Because it doesn't leave a huge gap. It doesn't make the texture on the floor look bad. Okay. That allows us to use the shelves at the very least. So how do we want to use them? That is the question here. I don't know. I don't know. It's very sensible. I appreciate that. Maybe one shelf, one trapdoor, so it looks a bit cleaner. I think that's definitely a good idea there. Reduce the amount that we're doing at the very least. Let's try that going up. Just all the way up. Nope, give that back. Thank you. And then right here would be a skip, I guess? Well... I mean, that's kind of the thing. If you do it, then you'd have to do this, and then... you kind of do that. I guess. I don't know. I'm not sold on that one right there, I don't think. I think that should probably just be trapdoors, maybe. Oh. I only have one, so... Okay, that could possibly work. It at least breaks up the constant, one portion depth that we were having. Kind of makes it a little bit better. And then we could always strip the logs too now. I'm iffy on that only because we've been using the normal logs all throughout the whole build. And I don't want to go through and strip a bunch of them and then change my mind, you know? I should go to VidCon 2026 on my motorcycle, Missouri to California. That would be insane, dude. Also, I'm sorry to hear that your bike was impounded. I just now read that. That would be quite the long trip. That's like, what? Probably about, like, 16 hours? I don't know. Something like that, maybe? That's not terrible, if it is 16. I know it's like 36 hours to drive coast to coast, or somewhere around that anyway. Depends on how fast you drive and which portion of the coast you're going to, so of course that can vary a little bit. Let's just turn all of those into that. Enjoy your breakfast, Alpha. Appreciate you popping in, dude. Yep. And, Okay, this actually might look really good, guys. I'm not like 100% sold on these longer walls. They may need a little bit more. But I am liking this overall better than what it was. So, I don't know. We'll see. It got impounded because I was allegedly going 182 and is 70. 100% my fault. Oh boy. So I went down from an S1000 down to a Ninja 650. Okay. Jeez. I mean, I can't say much, but like, dude. Yeah, that would do it. That would do it. I made a mess here for me, didn't I? Let's do here. The long ones need more since they need more support. That makes logical sense. I can vibe with that. I could definitely get along with that explanation. Yeah, let's just start them all off with the basic, and then we'll go through and determine which ones need the longer ones. And that should help a little bit. I'm not sure. On those corners, I'm really not sure about that. We may need to figure out something else. But that's a problem for future me. Okay, guys. I'll figure it out. What am I doing? I don't need that. That looks a little goofy there, but I'm not sure what else I could do about it, so. Alright, we need more stripped logs, so let's go get some. I actually have enough logs on me, I think, so. Go with that. Maybe the real solution to the corners are the friends we built with along the way. You're not wrong. I made a mess out of this build, I think. You guys have really helped me make it look better though, so I really do appreciate that. Like, this has been a massive thorn in my side, I think. But it is turning out pretty good, I've got to say. I'm happy with it now. This side. Alright, how's that look? Okay, not terrible. Yeah, I definitely think the longer ones need more support. And maybe what we need to do in order to get that is we need to just kind of go uniform on it. So figure out wherever the highest trapdoor is, and then all of them need to be at that height. I don't know if that makes any sense physically speaking, but we're gonna go with it. I also need to go down. I'm like 70% sure one of my cats insulted you. Oh, you know what? Fair enough. I'll take it as a high honor. I don't get insulted by cats very often. Admiral, thank you for spending your taxes. I appreciate it. And thank you for submitting, or congrats on getting first. That is your 50th time. GG's. Is that too high? No, it's not. Okay. And then right over here. That one's one too low. Oops. Alright. So yeah, 1, 2, 3. That one's at 3, 4. Let's see how that one looks. Okay. Boop. Yeah, that I think might be the play here. It's gonna eat up a lot of wood, but you know what? I think it's okay. I need more of the trapdoors. I wish we got more trapdoors per craft. Oh my goodness, is it expensive? Ba ba ba. Alright. I want to get insulted by a cat. I mean, you just gotta be an idiot. That's all you gotta do to get, I think, insulted by a cat. I don't know what I did, but I'm gonna assume it was probably being an idiot. Oh, you're so gonna regret that. But it will be pretty. Yeah. It'll look good. I'm hopeful, at least. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Okay, that should get the rest of our shelves that we need, I believe. And then I'll just turn the rest of these into trapdoors, because we'll use them eventually. Also, ads in 30 seconds on Twitch. I'm sorry, guys. I know they suck. But I have to use them in order to get rid of the pre-rolls. So just bear with me. It'll be over soon. 1, 2, 3. And then that one's 4. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. Okay, sleep. We need to sleep. Do we have a bed up here? I think we do. Yes, we do. Sweet. Okay. Pretty good at that today. To build or not to build, that is the question. Oh, to build or not to build. Well, that was more disappointing people by being an idiot. I've got a lot of experience in disappointing people. I could host a TED Talk on that if anybody wanted it. I'll take you away. Fortunately, there's just no way I can do this. Right there. I don't know what to do about that. Boop. Bop, bop. And then this one's gonna be 2, and this one should be 3. I guess part of it is we also need to figure out what in the world we're doing right there. That's kind of a mess, isn't it? Oh well. It's fine. It's fine. Welcome to the club. You have my many thanks. I'd be really sad if I weren't invited to the club. Yeah, that's better. That works. Okay. Maybe strip it. Should we try it? Should we try stripping the wood? Do I have more wood to replace it? That is the first question. Not in there. Let's check at the cabin, or the dirt hut, sorry. I think stripped wood would look better. I think. I don't know. Only because it matches the browns a little bit better. But I'm not entirely certain yet. Oh yeah, we got enough. Let's strip a layer and see what we got. What we got. Sorry, wow. Do you want to risk it? We're gonna risk it. No pain, no gain, right? That's what they say. Okay, and then boop, boop, boop. Okay, chat, what do we think? Stripped or not stripped? I think it could go either way here, so I'll let you guys figure that one out. Me neither. Don't expect good suggestions from me. That's crazy. No, I trust you. You're usually pretty on point, Nikita. Oy. There we go. It's getting a little hot. I'm trying to slip these socks off. Oh my goodness, they're tight. There we go. I mean, the tough thing is here that we're just trying to figure out, do we want to go with a darker highlight block or do we want to go with a lighter highlight block? Because that's kind of where stripped wood comes in. Also, I don't know if it changes anybody's opinions, that's what it looks like without shaders. So that might persuade you to one side or the other, I don't know. For me, it doesn't, but I know some people, the colors kind of change a little bit. There we go. Okay. I actually meant the piece in the corner where you couldn't put trapdoors and stuff. Oh! Okay, wait, that's smart. Yeah, hang on. Yeah. So we could go like that. Or we could go all the way up. That actually helps. That helps a lot. That blends it in. Okay. About the only other thing I think you could do is you could come over here and make some of these. And then let's see if I can do this. That almost needs to be bigger. I don't know what we have that could be either thicker than the fence post or thinner than it. Yeah, it's got to be thicker or thinner than the fence post. Because I'm basically trying to round it off, I guess. What if we did... I mean, what we could do... It's a little bit of a silly idea, but why not, you know? I'm not a fan of that. I thought I might be, but I don't think I am. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking we just keep the mud walls. Maybe. Might be too dark with the stripped. Let's give it a try. Trying to remember how to make those. But yeah, let's give that a try. I've got one mud brick. Do I have any? Do I have a stone cutter in here? I don't. Okay, we need to find a stone cutter. I don't know where it's at. You know what? I should have one, actually. Wait. In here. Right? I don't see one. How did I not get one at, like, any of the villages? Dang. Okay. Ugh. Let's, go up and see if we can find a stone cutter to cut this one piece. Okay. How's everybody been doing, by the way? I know I've kind of yapped a little bit about what I've been up to, what I have been doing, but I like also knowing about you guys. Mohammed, hello, welcome on in. It's good to see you. I am doing all right. Appreciate you asking. Come on. Okay, that's not working. Let's go around this way. Can we fit through there? No. No. Okay. This way.
Hello there.
I have _autism. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. You play vanilla? Yes. I am currently playing, it's vanilla, but it's, It's got a couple of quality of life mods. That's currently what I'm up to right now. Just chilling. I almost messed that up. Yeah, we're just chilling today. Nothing too crazy. I say maybe I would change of scenery for a second, I guess. Yeah, there's a bright side. There's a bright side. And sleep. Okay. Man. I'm sorry, guys. I'm wiped, apparently. Wow. Alright, let's try right here. Okay, this might not be bad. Okay. I definitely like the concept. I think we do get rid of the stripped in the background. It's kind of distracting. You notice the difference between the log and what's not the log. So that seems to kind of at least work a little bit. So we just need to figure out some... How do you even get mud brick? I need to look that up. I haven't done that in forever. Mud brick. Minecraft. You get it by making packed mud. How do you make packed mud? Mud and wheat. Okay. Yeah. We could do that. I see no reason why we couldn't. Okay. Boop. Boop. Alright, sweet. Do I have any mud readily available? Mud and wheat? Yeah. Do I have any mud? Otherwise, we gotta make some really quick, which isn't a big deal. I've got supplies. Let's empty out my inventory. I've got mud or dirt right here. Let's just make a stack, just to be safe. And we'll go up by the river. I've got a bottle here. Alright. Lead on the horse. Boop. Alright, let's just do it right here. And that should do good. I think I did like the first thing better, but it is an option. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. It's one of those things, I worked myself into a corner, unfortunately. I don't have many options on getting myself out of that corner. Also, I kind of made a mistake here. Do I have a bucket? Let's go get a bucket of water. Get a little bit closer. Alright, right here. I didn't even know you were right there. Oh my goodness. That would have made it so much easier. Oh well. Boop. I get everything around the edges because it turns to grass, which I forgot it did. Alright. That should do it. Boop. And then I'll just take you. Boop. Boop. And that puts us a little closer. Call me the... I don't even know what that means, if I'm gonna be honest. Cool blocks. Boop. Alright. Well, almost. Okay, those two right there. Okay, we should be good now. Huh. That is news to me. Cool. Also, I messed that part up, so my bad. Hang on. Gosh dang it, I messed it up. Alright. You right there. There we go. Okay, so we need wheat, and then we should be good. Alright, I messed up that spot, and I'm not sure, do I have any dirt to just fix that, or... I do. Good. Man, I'm, like, wiped. What in the world? Alright. Take that. Do hardcore. I'm gonna play the Forever World, because that's what I feel like playing right now. But if I ever decide to do hardcore, I will get around to it eventually. It is something on my to-do list. It's just not urgent right now. I'm having a lot of fun with this, to be entirely real with you guys. Okay, mud can go in there. We've got one stack of mud bricks. I think that should get us started at least. And then we've got some redstone. Those could go in there. I guess you too, yeah. Alright. I'm gonna have to go grab some water here in a minute because I'm almost out. I'm starting to get a little bit of a headache. And I think it's from dehydration. I haven't really been home very long to drink enough. So I think I'm just a smidge dehydrated, but I don't know. Okay, that puts that at the right height. We just need to craft this in. I don't know. I don't really like it. I liked it, but then now I'm kind of going, maybe I don't like it. I mean, we'll zoom in just a little bit so you guys can see it. I'm gonna go grab some water really quick while I'm remembering, and then I'll be right back. When I come back, we'll make a decision on it and decide what needs to be done. It feels just ever so slightly off, and I'm not sure if there's a way I can fix that or not. Oh well. See you in like 2 minutes at most. And just like that, we're back. Hello, everybody. Also, thank you for the hydrate. I appreciate it, Nikita. Let me get that now. There we go. Okay, it's really dark over there now. You can't even see that we have that detail. My bad. I didn't even think about it. I should have paused the game. That could have been really bad. You guys would have had to just watched me die there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We may just revert back to this and then do one side that's partially stripped. Just to kind of give it that look like there would be more depth there, but it's not more depth. I don't know. Also, thank you for the candy. That will be good, I think. Probably. I can imagine it would be. My body needs more energy in general, so... Well, let me go grab that. Okay. We're actually almost out. So, I don't know what we'll do after that, but we'll figure it out. Got what? One? Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 more after this one, so we got 7, including the one I'm about to eat. Alright, there we go. Could have been funny. All set. Food and drinks. Heck yeah. You guys always take care of me. I appreciate that. There we go. It's hot in here. That thing was barely needed to even be chewed. It's at that weird consistency that Hershey chocolate gets, where it almost becomes like rubber, but then, you know, the second it touches your mouth, it's like melting into pieces. That's kind of like what it was like. Guys, I got an idea for our our chocolate situations, okay? I think it may be best that I just... I get a girlfriend, okay, guys? Hear me out, okay? And then they give me chocolates every once in a while. And I just preserve it throughout the year so that you guys can candy redeem me. It'll work, I think. Okay, that works. If we do that, though, would it break things if we have to strip all the way up, or would it not? Because that at least gives it the color, so it has the illusion that there's more there. But I do fear if we go all the way up, then it may possibly lose that effect. Let's just try it. Let's try it. We've got logs. We've got logs for days. Anything to avoid a job, you know me. Okay, right there. Okay, boop, boop, boop. Ah. Okay, how does that look? It definitely loses the effect. But I don't know if I hate the stripped or not. I'm gonna have to like phone in a friend at some point. I might have to. I'm indecisive. Let's just let it be for now. Also, this is off by 1. Right? Yeah, okay. Good. Good, good, good. And then that's all on. And then that appears to be right. Okay. We do have to do all the sides, which it goes pretty far. But I think it'll be okay for now. For us to not mess with it. We'll just keep it on the main. And then what I might do is I might just ask for opinions every once in a while. Maybe in the next video, asking if you guys think we should do it stripped or not stripped. Stripped or barked. But maybe I'll come up with a consensus before that. We'll see. These need to go a lot taller. So, give me a minute here while I figure that out. I'd say they need to be probably about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Something like that. It's not awful. It might be a little tall. I don't know. Hello, Terry. Welcome on in. It's good to see you. If the US wasn't that far, I'd send you some of the Belgian chocolates. Oh, boy. Because whatever you just described happening to you, to the one you ate, isn't supposed to have a chocolate. Yeah, it's not. It's because technically Hershey's... I mean, I could read it to you, actually. So this is the ingredients list for this sucker. It is milk chocolate, which is sugar, milk, chocolate, cocoa butter, milk fat, and then you've got something called lecithin, which is soy, and you got some natural flavoring in there. Now, what this doesn't say... Sometimes it says it on here, sometimes it doesn't. They have a coating on there that helps, like, preserve the flavors, I guess. and it's really not good for you. It's a preservative, but that's the problem is it basically makes it so that Hershey chocolate doesn't really melt. You'll see it on videos and stuff. I don't know if I can find one really quick. Hershey melting chocolate. Images. It's also so that it doesn't melt while it's in transit, I believe, that they do this. But, like, yeah, can I open that image in a new tab? I can, sweet. Okay, this is a YouTube video, but I think it'll get the point across. You guys will kind of see it for a minute. Window capture, properties, view. Okay, you see how that's like stretching? That chocolate right there. This has been like an ongoing like controversy, I guess, is that Hershey chocolate is fake chocolate, which it is. If you read a lot of their products, especially, it is chocolate flavored product, or it's called like a cocoa product. There's a lot of deceptive tactics that they use. Their milk chocolate and chocolate are also like technically different in its entirety there. There's different rules about how you can advertise your chocolates. Hershey is very careful about it. But they have actually said that they're going to go back to a real chocolate formula for their smaller candies especially. So the things that I've been eating will actually get better quality here in this next year, I believe, 2027. Do you want to play with me on Minecraft? I don't usually play on other people's servers. That's a safety thing. But one day, eventually, I'd like to have my own Minecraft server up and running again. And I would love for you to join us on that if you'd like. So we've got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, we'll go 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try that. Is that better or worse or about the same? That's better. Okay, yeah, let's do that then. I've never actually used the shelves as a shelf. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing or just a thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Hang on. 4. There we go. Yes. Okay. Also, Ayla, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Sounds like a US thing to put stuff into food that isn't supposed to be in food. Yeah, it kind of is. I mean, it's everywhere. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sorry, hang on. The US is a very consumer-based culture. And so it's originally argued, 1, 2, 3, 4, that it's better for the consumer for these things that have a long shelf life. But like you said, things that shouldn't be in food end up in food. Preservatives, red dyes, things like that, because it makes it more aesthetic. It makes it more automatically appealing. Because some of those candies, if they don't have any dyes in them, they don't look as good, technically. So it's one of those things. I get why they do it, but also at the same time, it's like, we probably shouldn't be eating that. And like Admiral said, the US is a lot more open about it, because there's so many people in the US that they're constantly looking at what the FDA says about all the things that we allow in our food. It's not actually all that different from a lot of the world, from my understanding. Like, I think you can look at a list out there. I don't know which organization is off the top of my head. I think it's USA versus is it England? Band dies. Where is it? Trying to find something that's actually readable that we'll understand. Because some of these, it's like using things that I have no idea how to even pronounce. Okay, I think this one, I haven't fact checked it, so like take it with a grain of salt. You guys can go look it up if you want. I'll open that in a new tab for you guys. Properties. You? Yeah. So you got this one. It says here, these food colorings are not banned in Europe or other countries. They just merely have a different name. So in the case of, like, for example, I'm trying to think. I think Red AC is a big one. Red 40 in the US. That's also in Japan, number 217, Food Red number 40, or in Europe, E129. And so, it's just one of those things because you've got, like, I don't even know what the US population size is right now, but you've got multi-millions, hundreds of millions of people in the US who are all, like, looking at whatever's banned. And then you've got people in the Europe as well, and there's a lot of them, but you all have your own designations for this stuff. And so it's also comical because we make fun of Americans a lot. You know, it's one of those things, it's stereotypical to make fun of Americans because, let's be honest, Americans, we're a little big. We're not just a little big, we are big. And that's, you know, not a great thing. I won't lie. It's not a great thing. So it does make sense, but I think that part of things goes more into the consumer culture. Here in the US, everybody goes to McDonald's. Everybody goes and eats out all the time. You know, it's if you're broke, it's actually cheaper to buy junk food here because that's also partially why a lot of those chemicals are in foods, is it makes it so much cheaper. That was one of the other things in, like, Hershey. The reason why it's so stretchy and not as melty is to make their chocolate product go farther, and so that they can sell more of it. And this is just a brand problem. Not all chocolate companies are like this, I promise. Hershey is just, it's not real chocolate. Usually. There are some Hershey chocolates that are chocolate, and that's a whole other topic. But some of them are so full of other ingredients to make it stretch out longer so that they can make their bars cheaper so that they can sell more of them. Because you feel better buying a Hershey bar. It's like $2 compared to the real chocolate bar, which is probably $5, $6, maybe even $7. In fact, it may not even be on the grocery checkout aisle. Also, part of the issue is we've become so accustomed to it. It's been a slow change over time. I remember as a kid even, Reese's used to taste so different compared to what they do now. And I'm sure some of you guys have seen it. The grandson of Mr. Reese's himself, he is like going at it with the Hershey company over changing the recipe, because it used to be those peanut butter cups were made with real chocolate, real peanut butter. and they're not anymore. I forget the exact term they use, but you can look at the pictures side by side, and like it doesn't look like peanut butter or chocolate for that matter. They just aren't as tasty. They don't taste like chocolate or peanut butter. And so Hershey has listened to people yelling about it, because it usually takes somebody just saying something. We've all realized this over time, but our food doesn't taste as good anymore. I was talking about this with my mom earlier, actually. Even like frozen pizzas that you buy from like Walmart to pop into the oven, they don't taste as good as they used to. The crust tastes like cardboard. The pepperoni doesn't really taste like pepperoni. The cheese is arguably cheese, but I would say it's probably more like cheese product. There's that word again, product. And, you know, it's kind of like, you know, I don't blame companies for trying to make things cheaper, but I do want something that actually tastes real. And that's been my common complaint with a lot of places. Anywhere you go to like get a cheeseburger, for example, here in the US, you know, I love cheeseburgers. Used to be my favorite thing. I'd go everywhere to get a cheeseburger because it was the tried and true. You could not mess up a cheeseburger. It's a piece of meat, some cheese. I found out people can mess up cheeseburgers now. They don't season them. Anywhere you go, they will not season it. And I don't know if that's in an effort to cut costs so that they can keep their food at a lower price for a longer period of time, or if it's to up their profit margin, or if it's just about taste and the fact that most people would rather season it themselves. But it's never as good if you have to actually season it after it's been cooked. I'm not a chef by any means. I'm not a cook. I don't know how to make food other than like a few bare essentials. But you know, it doesn't take a genius to know this. If you cook something in spices, it's gonna taste better than putting the spices on it after it's been cooked. That's just from lived experience. What are we doing? We need to do stuff. Let's come up here and look at some stuff. Also, cool blocks. That's cool. Philippines is really awesome. I know a lot of my viewers pop in occasionally, and they're from the Philippines, and it's really cool. I just got hugged at the lowest point of my life, and it made me feel worse about myself. I'm sorry to hear that. Sometimes we need hugs, and sometimes hugs make us feel bad. But I hope you feel better soon. All that was to say, basically, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah. The world is kind of like, generally speaking, I feel like we need to recenter ourselves a little bit. You know, the world in general just needs to recenter ourselves. Are we actually happy? Or are we being fooled into believing that we're happy, you know? A lot of these products have gone so down in quality, and like you wouldn't notice because side by side, it's a very slow incremental change. But like if you look at phones, for example, this is one where you could actually say it's better, but this is something that gets made fun of a lot, is like Apple phones, iPhones. You know, year to year, they look exactly the same. But if you compare an iPhone now from an iPhone, I don't know, 5 years ago, they look different. Even more so 10 years ago. Same could be said probably about, like, chocolate. Okay, we'll go back to the chocolate example. Hershey chocolate 10 years ago versus Hershey chocolate now. Noticeable difference. But Hershey 10 years ago versus 9 years ago, you wouldn't notice the difference in that. And it's because they've been slowly changing it to make it cheaper. But in doing that, it's slowly gone down in quality. And you go, okay, well, for us to save 5 cents on this candy bar and not have to raise the price again, it tastes only like a little worse. It's like, yeah, we could get by with that. Most people wouldn't notice unless you eat it side by side. Well, after doing that 10 times, your candy bar tastes a lot worse. And before you know it, I mean, fun fact, Skittles, their flavoring comes from like the scent. Like, it's not even about the flavor in it. I wouldn't be all that shocked if at some point in time we got to that point with like chocolate, for example. It was just scented and it looked like chocolate, sounded like chocolate, and maybe broke apart like chocolate, but was not chocolate. In fact, I'd argue that's probably part of why Hershey still tastes as decent as it does. Like, I won't lie. I can absolutely engulf one of those in a couple of seconds. They're not, like, good, but it hits the spot when you just want something sweet. But they're not good. Now, dark chocolate, on the other hand, is, I believe, Hershey's most chocolatey chocolate. Because for whatever reason, the way they make it is actually it uses chocolate and not milk chocolate product or whatever. It's very interesting stuff. If you guys ever want to learn about chocolate, I'm not the guy to talk about that usually, but today, for whatever reason, I know enough that I could kind of get around the topic. Norlani, hello, welcome on in. I am on Java Edition, so unfortunately you cannot add me, because we do not have a friend system here. But I appreciate you popping in, it means a lot. We should fish. We should fish for a little bit. We need that mending book. How many fishing rod casts are we at? Fish. I can't spell fish. Items. We've cast the rod 7,577 times. It's not awful. We're not going to do a prediction today because I'm not feeling like we're going to be fishing very, very long. But I do want to fish for a little bit. Now, I will say, I just want to make sure this is clear. I'm not defending... Because I just realized when I said, yeah, everybody else does this too. I'm not defending that we have dyes in our foods. I think that we should probably not have any chemicals in any of our foods if we could avoid it. It's just, it's not a good thing. I don't know how else to say that. It's not a good thing that we're ingesting all this. I mean, even, like, this is one thing that my chiropractor told me. He was talking to me, and he was like, well, what's your diet look like? And so we were talking about that, and he's like, well, what do you eat? And I'm like, well, I eat waffles, and he's like, how much bread do you consume? And I'm like, well... including the waffles, not like a ton even, but I do eat some like with you know, I eat burgers, you know, I eat hot dogs. Well, those come with buns, and buns is a type of bread. And so we went through the list, and he's like, yeah, you should probably be careful about that. Like, if you do eat those things, it's fine, but you should also eat plenty of greens with it, because and I didn't know this, but I don't know what his source was. So take it with a grain of salt. I'm just repeating what he told me, but he was a medical professional. So he's probably got some amount of truth there. Apparently the stuff that they spray down the wheat and the grains with so that it that pests don't get into it and that the weeds don't kill it, that stuff doesn't always get rinsed off completely during the process. And so your kidneys need to be able to filter that stuff out. So you eat a lot of broccoli to get your chlorophyll up, and that boosts your kidney functions, I guess. Greens are really good for that. So, you know, anything green, really, because that has a lot of chlorophyll. It makes plants green. I know a lot of weird stuff. I don't know why I can remember the chlorophyll makes plants green. I just remembered he told me eat anything green, and I kind of looked into why that was the case, and it was interesting enough. Amy Rose, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Also, sorry about the ads on the Twitch side, guys. I apologize. We should probably sleep. I don't want to mess with any monsters tonight. Give me fish. Actually, give me book. That's what I really need, is the book. It'd be really cool if we could get all of our mending by episode 20. Because that's kind of what I'm debating going to the end. I think that would probably be my best, in my best interest. But I'm not, like, setting any hard deadlines on that. Ideally, we get it before episode 20. Episode 10 is the nether. We'll start building a lot of cool things after that, I believe. Not that we're not already building cool things, but you know what I mean. I just I want to keep enjoying the game at the slow pace that we've been doing. I'm trying to question though, do I want to get a beacon before I go to the end or after I go to the end? Because we could beat a wither. We could definitely beat a wither. I don't know. That would give me access to instant mine at least, which would be good. I don't know. Instant mine would be honestly the best. Yeah, I think I should stick with probably getting a beacon before the end. If I do wait that long to go. I may just decide I'm sick of not being able to fly around. But I'm actually kind of enjoying it. Like, walking has been kind of nice. It's forced me to interact with horses more. It's forced me to really focus down and build pathways and you know, I actually focus on the big details that you would actually see from the ground, because I'm so used to flying around, and so I build big things that look big in scale because you view them from far away. Well, I want everything to be viewed up close because you're walking through it. So I've actually had the ability to kind of really utilize that, utilize this to my advantage of not being able to fly. It's recentered my perspective. And that was kind of what I was trying to hit on earlier, about humanity needs to recenter themselves. Recenter our food industry. Why does our food not taste as good? Recenter our games industry. Why do games not feel as good to play? You know, if everybody could just sit there and go, why does this not function the way I want it to? And then do something about it. You know, that's the thing. I think we're all good at diagnosing problems. Most of us don't want to fix our problems, though. And that's not me calling you guys out. That's me calling myself out. I just want to make that known. How do we join if we can? Unfortunately, Jeffy, we cannot join. This is a single player world. I do have 2 friends who have lovely viewer joinable servers. If you look them up, King Elfie and Kitrix Live, both of them have great viewer joinable servers, and I join them occasionally at times to help out. So if you wanted to join a streamer or a content creator of any kind, that would be the best way. Oh, man. I am working on a viewer joinable server. I should just go ahead and state this again. Basically, you know, we'll talk about King SMP. Why not? I don't know what's going to happen with that. The longer I've thought about it, kind of the more I'm going, I don't know if we need King SMP. But also, I don't want to, like, just abandon that idea entirely, you know? I want to run a server. It's important to me. But I don't want that to come at the cost of other things that we could be doing. And so I'm trying to be careful about that. It's just, I don't know if I can offer you guys the best experience out of anybody else. So I don't know. I don't know. Because you guys could play on any server, and I know part of it is just being able to play on the same server as me, and I get that, so I may look into other options there. But is there anything, like, unique that King SMP Season 4 would bring that no other server is doing? And to answer that, I don't know. I'm sure I could probably come up with something, but is it a good feature? Is it actually good? I don't know. I really don't. So, you know, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not, like, canning King SMP Season 4. I did tell you guys I would do it at some point in time, and I still intend to. But I want to make sure I do it in a way that is actually good, you know. I also don't want to ever, like, make a server and then dump it, you know. A lot of content creators, what they end up doing is they make a server for all their, like, supporters, you know. I've seen, like, a lot of Patreon servers out there, and this is not me throwing shade at any one creator. I've just seen this in general. You see it a lot in the larger creators, because as they get further into their career of content creation, they get they have to separate themselves more from viewer stuff because they can't make content on that all the time. But I see it a lot of content creators, they abandon their viewer joinable stuff after they hit a certain point. And they still have the server there, and the community still plays together. But if I run a server, I want to make sure that it's something that I can be there and play with you guys on, at least on a monthly basis. But I'd like it to be more often than that. I've just struggled a lot with that as a concept, though, because, you know, the longer I create, the more I've thought about things, and it's like, you know, in certain scenarios, like, you know, I love the Forever World, and I'm going to play on it forever. I love it. But let's say I split my attention from the Forever World to start working on that creative series that I want to do for a little bit. It's a temporary thing, but it's a long-term project still. Like, it is temporary. I'm not going to be doing creative building forever. But, you know, let's say that takes me a whole year to finish the one map. and I split that between 3 streams a week. So I take one of my Forever World streams and I turn it into a creative building stream. Well, that puts us at, 2 Forever World streams, 1 creative stream. That's like, okay split, We get a lot of work done, I think. And then we go to, well, what if I also got, well, let's say Twitch SMP Season 8 happened. I doubt it will. I don't foresee a Season 8 happening anytime soon for a Twitch SMP. But if it did, and I decided I wanted to join, well, I've only got one other place I can take from, and that would be the Forever World. So suddenly I've got 3 series going on at once. So if I did a viewer joinable server on top of that, where does that 4th stream go? I'd have to start a new stream day, or I'd have to start sacrificing other things every once in a while in order to make it happen. And I don't know how to do that. I really don't. So I'm trying to be careful. I find a lot of content creators, this is just the case. It's really easy to feature creep, and we do too many things at once. To the point where you're doing so many things that you're almost a variety streamer, even if you're in the Minecraft only space. You're a Minecraft streamer, but what kind of Minecraft streamer? Not to say that you can't be a variety Minecraft streamer. That is a thing. And some people do it very, very well. But there's like that whole topic in YouTube as well. You can't just be a content creator. You have to be a content creator within a certain niche. So you become a gaming content creator. Well, you can't just be a gaming content creator. You either got to be gaming news and do a whole bunch of news, but you still got to niche down even in that to certain types of news. Or you got to be a certain game player, so you got to be really good at games in some way, or you got to find exploits in games. Or you just pick one game and stick with it and make it about your journey through that. So in the case of Minecraft, well, you can be a Minecraft content creator, but you gotta go even deeper than that. Are you a Redstone Minecraft YouTuber? Are you a Let's Play Minecraft YouTuber? Are you a news update Minecraft YouTuber? It gets kind of crazy specific. And even in that case, it gets even deeper. And streamers have this as well, where we end up starting so many projects on the side that we can't keep up with them all. Because, and I can speak on this to some degree because I've seen it with some of my friends. I wouldn't even call them friends necessarily because I've only talked to them a handful of times. But some people, and this is very true in the Minecraft space, they become a part of so many groups and they just kind of jump to each one as they come out, and they never go back and revisit the other one. In the Minecraft space, we have SMPs. Well, people start SMPs like every other month, and people just join them, and then they don't finish them, which is fine. It is fine, but that means you're an SMP Minecraft player. But a lot of them also have a hardcore world. They have a forever world. They have 3 SMPs. They have maybe some cool creative build that they're working on. They have a modded series. And, before long, you have like 12, maybe 20 projects. And at some point, you got to pull the plug on yourself and say, we've done enough. We can't keep doing more. And this is in no way a target towards anybody. I want to make that expressingly clear, okay? If you see somebody doing these things, don't tell them that Reg hates them, because I don't hate them. I don't. It's just something I've noticed is, like, it's hard because as a viewer, as somebody who watches those streams, it gets tough because I like certain worlds. I like, for example, Sometimes I'm really invested in the hardcore stuff. And sometimes those creators just don't play the hardcore because of whatever reason. And, you know, I think it's fair. Hardcore is one of those things. Only play if you really want to, because otherwise you'll get careless and lose the world. And that would suck. But sometimes I get really invested in that stuff, and then you never see the resolution to it, or you never see an addition to it. And, you know, it just makes me sad to see that so often. And I don't want to ever make that a thing in my content creation space. So if you ever see me, like, having too many series going on, like, there's a chance I would put on break and say, yeah, we're not going to do the Forever World videos for a couple of months while we do this one series. You know, just because the Forever World will always be there. Some of these other series, maybe not. And we don't, I find a lot of content creators anyway, don't communicate when they put something on pause. And, you know, I don't expect content creators to tell everybody everybody's business. Like, you know, it's okay to have secrets. But also at the same time, it's kind of like, you know, communicate. Just a little bit, if you can. Because that tells me as a viewer, like, okay, that stuff is still planned at some point, but it's not planned right now. We're talking about maybe coming back to that eventually. And that works. That's fine. And this is where I can, like, actually bring up a real example of somebody who does this really well. Somebody that I respect greatly. Avid MC. I've talked about him a couple times. You guys all probably know who he is. Has said repeatedly on multiple occasions why they won't be joining certain servers, why they can't be in certain places at certain times, and it's usually because, like, Avid cares about the stuff that Avid makes. Well, if you join too many servers at once, one of those servers is going to have to get the short end of the stick. And that's not fair to the server, where you're creating content, and it's not fair to the people who are viewing the content, because they're expecting you to make the same quality of every piece if you can. And so, you know, you only have 24 hours in a day, right? Well, 8 of those hours are taken up by sleeping, or it's supposed to be. So you really only have 16 hours in a day. How are you going to logically split that up, especially if you're working a full-time job? You know? So that's another 8 hours. So you only have 8 hours a day to work on content. Well, for most people, that means they can only work on one series at a time. If we're being honest. And don't get me started on people who work, do school, and do content. I don't know how they do it. Honestly. Like, I don't know where I would find the time. I really don't know where I'd find the time. Okay, let's see. I do need to pause really quick. Dashoka, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. It's good to see you. There we go. I'm sorry, my lurks are all out of sorts right now. My Twitch is broken, that's why. Jeez. Whole UI is all whack. Let's try to drag that down and see if that fixes it. Yeah, that worked. Okay. There we go. I can see chat again. Okay, yeah, we'll just be fishing for probably... I don't know, probably about 15 more minutes. I don't know. Don't hold me to that. Do not hold me to it. Because we are at level 67, and I kind of like that. Yeah, we should stop short of getting rid of 6-7. I think that's a good idea. So definitely not 15 minutes. And then I do have things I'll do tonight as well. I've got video planned to come out this weekend for King SMP Season 3. So you guys will finally have access to that world download. You'll have access to the merch that I'll release alongside it if you want it. And that gets something off my plate. Which I'll be really, really happy about. And then it'll be just from there planning. I'll probably... I don't know, I gotta look and see what's on my priorities list. And decide what I need to start working on next. It's tough. It's really tough to pick stuff sometimes. Boop. Jeez, man, is it hard to pick. Yeah, I mean, I think I've talked about this a little bit. You know, I have a goals list, so we have one for each thing that I do. So I've got one for Twitch, YouTube, the VOD channel, which I have not worked on in forever. I've got one for Omnia, my video game that I'm working on. I've got one for King SMP. And then I've got one for my life as well. So that's 6. I've got 6 different goal sheets that I try to keep up with at any given moment. I split those goals up based on what I want for my life this year and the steps that I would take to get there. So everything's broken down to stupid easy stuff usually, but it's in a priority list. So priority 1 is a must do this month. Priority 2 is this would be nice to do, but wait until you have all your priority 1s across all the lists done. And then priority 3 is if you have time, you could probably pick up some of these in like 5 to 10 minutes kind of deal. Maybe a little bit less than that. Some of them are probably about an hour-long task, but it's a one-time thing. But it's really hard to divide my attention amongst all that stuff because some of those tasks are big. Because I want big things to happen in life. And so you can't... You know, you can't hit the moon if you don't at least aim for outer space, right? So, you know, I follow that theory a lot. You know, you aim your goals really high. Not so high that you'll never hit them, but high enough that you have to push yourself to actually get there. Some of my goals are really easy, throwaway stuff, like, for example, in my life goals, one of my top priorities is continuing medical stuff. Because if I can get through all my medical stuff and I can get official diagnoses for everything, then I don't have to worry about that later in my life. If I can just get it sorted out while I'm 21 and, you know, get through life in the first half of the year, then in the second half I can enjoy things a little bit more and I'm not having to fight multiple fronts on this one battle, you know? So, like, every month that's, like, high up on my list until I don't have to keep going in. Then I can just kind of forget about it for a little bit, which would be really nice. But that's like an easy one to do because all I got to do is go back to the doctor or respond to a message from one of the referrals or, you know, something like that. Sometimes I even just count doing some research on a medical condition that I may possibly have. Sometimes I even just count that as continuing the medical process. But then I've got bigger ones, like, for example, for YouTube, I've got goals to maintain the Forever World, which means I need to post every other week a video on the Forever World. I need to post a Forever World episode. This month, I also had one for posting the King SMP Season 3 video, which will be fulfilled this weekend. I've also got, for Omnia, the video game I'm working on, I wanted to do the entire game menu, which wasn't, like, too big. But then it instantly became bigger as I was working on it, because I was like, well, what if we did this? What if we did that too? And so it very quickly outgrew what I thought I was going to do. Which means that suddenly my priority 1 tasks are very heavy. You know, it takes me a whole week to make a video sometimes. So, you know, it can kind of derail things when you're trying to do a really big game system plus a big video. Well, 2 big videos, really. And likewise, it can also really, really suck trying to fit that in amongst other things. Like, for example, me continuing my medical process has led to me having more appointments. Which isn't like a big deal. Like, I've only got a 1-hour commitment to the physical therapy, for example. But if I can slot in one of my appointments that I'm trying to get scheduled right now, that might be another hour taken away at some point, and they may need a follow-up. Same thing with rheumatology, if I can get in for that, which they've been trying to do for a while now. You know, then that's another appointment, and that's like one I have to drive to. So that's like 3 hours out of the day, and I may need to. It's probably longer than that, really. It's probably a 4 or 5 hour thing, because you gotta eat while you're out, and it's a pretty long drive there and back. And then, of course, I go shopping while I'm out there, because it's good for fuel efficiency. Like, why would I not? So, you know, before long, it starts adding up, and you start losing time in some of those spots. Priority 1 for the VOD channel I've always kept easy, because my goal is just to not fall behind. But it's my big goal for this year to finish all of the thumbnails for it. I've still got 160 something, I think, that I gotta do. And I've got, King SMP's done. I don't have to worry about its goals anymore. But for a low priority goal I've got some for drafting Season 4. So as I get ideas for the server, then I start adding to the goal sheet to maybe start developing stuff so that it works, you know? I'm also trying to remember. Twitch. Top priority on that one was 12-hour stream, which we've delayed. I don't think I would have an other top priority right now, because I'm just trying to get through the other stuff. My smaller goals that were supposed to stay small, they ended up getting big, you know. That's just how life goes sometimes. You can't expect everything. Alright, give me 1 second. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, we'll go ahead and finish up this cast here, and then we'll go and wrap up stream. I've got ads incoming again, so I'm trying to wrap up before that. I've yapped a pretty good amount today anyway as well. As always, though, I hope you guys enjoyed. It was a lovely time. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as me. And if you didn't, I apologize. Next time will be better. You'll see me on Sunday, if all goes to plan, which right now it sounds like it will. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. We'll be back to work on the Forever World, like I said, on Sunday. We did some good work today. Nothing too crazy. We just kind of worked on some texture variation up there in the tunnel, and I think it looks pretty cool. And then we did some work right there on the beams to make those look more structurally supported. I got to figure out some stuff there, if we want to keep them stripped or if we want to keep them barked. Then we'll figure it out another time. We also did some fishing. No luck with the mending books, but that's a short little recap of what we got up to. Let's go say hi to my friend Kitrix. She is live. She's back from a little bit of a hiatus. So it would be kind of nice to go say hello to her, give her some support. YouTube, we can actually go and do a redirect as well. So we'll do that. She's on there. I don't know how to redirect. How do you do that? There we go. Boop. So, stick around. When the stream ends, you guys will be over there soon. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you all. I'll see you guys again soon. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.